Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the
What's how many subscribers you have now?
7,333.
You got 7,000 people that'll
Yeah. Well,
just listen to you do whatever you do.
8,800 watched the last wash
Yeah.
of Michelle's Ford Raptor, and 8,200 watched the Bronco.
Was that an exit interview too, or is that different? Is that separate?
I guess it was technically.
It's not
but-
really your car.
Right.
It's Michelle's car.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So like lots of people are inquiring, like, look, this isn't what you think it is. This is
Right.
Michelle's car. So like, there's some chips on the interior, and like, it's just not. It's in comparison to normal people, I'm sure it's great.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not my car. It's not like you're getting something better than what it was when I
Right.
got it, sort of thing. So, but she's digging her new hybrid TRD Pro Sequoia. We just got it yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm so mad because I feel like it was a really good video. Robert Curry, who's our new Toyota guy in
Right.
Daytona, he brought it,
Yeah.
and we shot a video together, and I talked to him about selling and car sales, and,
Okay.
and also taught him how to wash. She doesn't have a
Right.
clue.
Right.
And the C70 camera that I use has volume, and it has a manual and automatic audio setting. So it has like an audio preamp.
Right.
And so one of the mics was set to manual and the other was set to auto, and the auto meant that it has the clipping again. So like my first video. So I got a 2-hour
Jeez.
video. I'm still going to put it up, but everybody's going to be mad at me for, it doesn't sound like every time I like inflect like this,
Right.
and
It
it
clips.
clips. It's still listenable, but annoying as crap. I was so mad. Yeah, it was, there's a lot going on. The car's here. I'm trying to time it out. We had
Right.
the Swiss Tracks meeting,
Yeah.
coming outside to get it
Yeah.
done. And interviewing the guy, just a lot of moving parts there, and I freaking screwed it up. But
So how's the Sequoia then?
it's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's my first ever Toyota. I never realized.
never owned a
I've
Toyota?
never owned a Toyota.
Huh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, never had a Toyota.
And you never had a Lexus, right? So
Correct.
no type of Toyota. Probably.
Yeah, I never really even thought of it. I mean, it's pretty Spartan in comparison to what I'm used to. Just simple,
Right,
basic,
yeah.
gets to the point. But it's a TRD version. It seems pretty good. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't drive it, but Michelle's been driving it around. I just did my thing and washed it, and just kind of
And
did the
that's-
initial setup and
That's
all that.
a hybrid, but it's not plug-in, right? It's
Correct.
Just okay.
Yeah, so it's a
Just charges
V6
off the
plus what is it, like I don't even know. I don't know the specs, but it's like another 100 horsepower electric
Right.
little motor that bolts onto that.
Hmm.
It's pretty slick. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if she likes the SUV life versus the truck life. I think she's going to like that it's going to be a little quicker, a little more nimble, but still have tons of space. Should be
It's
able
not
to
as
load up.
wide, too. I mean, a Raptor's and you had wide suspension and
Yeah.
pushed out wheels and
Yeah, so I'm going to leave it stock. The only modifications will be, coating it, paint
Yeah.
correcting it, window tinting it, and I cut the leash off. That's
of
it.
course.
I
Yeah.
denib the tires, coat the wheels, and that's about
All
it.
right. Is that start this weekend or?
So Thursday, Jeff and I don't know if Bradley's going to make it up, but
Okay.
the Armor guys
Armor
are going to
guys
come
are
up,
coming?
and we're going to use all Armor products on it. Shoot it.
They're going
video.
to try to convince you to switch to Armor.
Oh yeah,
ceramic.
that's what I want them to do, and I'm
Okay.
going to give them a hard time, saying this sucks, or this is good, or this could be better, or you could have me if you do this.
Right.
So that's
So will you full polish that too?
yeah. So we're gonna do a full polish. I
How's
don't know if we'll get the wheels done, but we're gonna
How's
try to
the
do the whole
paint?
thing.
How's the paint look?
It looks really good.
I mean, it's white, so
Right. Yeah,
It's
that
kinda hard
helps.
to-
That helps. But yeah, the paint looks really good, and a bunch of guys commented that white will actually do well. So Michelle's got her new car. I like the fact that the Raptor's fine at 95,000 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, cam phasers are going to go out.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to start to have easy maintenance to do. I just don't want to do it.
right.
I don't want to have to roadside assistance once.
Well, your luck, it'll break on the way to Destin or somewhere up that way, right?
It doesn't matter if it broke a mile down the road. I can't get there to
That's
fix
true.
it. So it doesn't help me at all. So I need that's why I bought Toyota. I wanted to do the Lexus, but the GX 550, I think it'd be a little too
too
small
small.
for her to go from the Raptor to that.
It's too small.
And I didn't want to pay 120 grand for the LX.
Right.
you know, and so I opted for the TRD, and plus the TRD is already modified. You know, it's modified, it's set up, it's cool, it's interesting, it's unique. When I wash it,
It's kind of a stormtrooper look, right? Black grill and black wheels.
Well, I just realized all 3 cars in the garage are all the same now.
It's all white, black.
I haven't had a white and black car in a long time, and now I got the Bronco.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Bronco
and the Tesla. They're all the same.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang it! How did
You'll
this
have to
happen?
bring one of those up here and bring one of the other cars down there. Break that garage up.
Yep. I did order my golf cart.
Okay. Which one did you pick?
So I didn't order a new one yet. I just ordered what they had.
Right.
And they're like, they have none. Like 0.
Right.
They have 6-seaters, 2-seaters. They didn't have a 4-seater.
So did you do the 6-seater or did you do
So
the
I did the
2-seater?
the 2-seater, gray, red seats,
Right.
lifted. It's pretty cool. And so I'll have that coming. And then hit me up if you want to snag that thing. I'm gonna order, assuming we like it. And in the first couple of days, I'll know.
Right.
Then I'm gonna order my British Racing Green, with bronze wheel, the Villages,
the 4-seater version, right?
Yeah, the Villages themed, because that's their colors.
The buffalo colors.
Yeah, a buffalo colored version 4-seater is what I'll order. And the new one, when I order, because the one I bought is a 2025. The 2026 has adjustable coilovers and has a 70 amp hour battery. So I'm gonna, if I like it, then we'll order the bespoke one that I want. But it's like 4 months, and I just, now that I have the spot, and I'm just gonna just get it done. I'm going to use it 0, but Ryan's pretty pumped about it.
Kids
so I kind of like the idea of having the 2-seater. That way, if they run into something,
there's only
two potential hospital
There's only
bills.
3 kids in there.
right, not 6.
But they could be standing on the back of it in the golf, where the golf well is.
Yeah.
You never know.
We'll see how it goes. But it's a GOAT. If you're interested, go to GOAT Golf Carts. It's a mammoth, it's South Korean made, Chinese, South Korean made kit that those guys have exclusivity on.
Yeah. All those, they're all the guts of those things are Chinese motors and batteries and controllers and all that. So, I had on here Sonic Tools. We were just working on Sonic tool configuration. You're still late on your deadline, by the way. You haven't finished.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. The fact that
so
we even have a deadline.
The fact that you gave me stuff to
improvement.
write down doesn't mean you're done. So you still have action.
Yeah, so the first step was to, we have our new MSS line. We supposedly, now we have an actual tracked date of October 31st due to arrive. It's supposed to be the 24th, so we're only 1 week behind.
Right.
So October 31st, all of our, initial cabinets arrive for us to photograph and to video and to show you. So October 31st, it gets to Sonic. We'll have it, say, a week after that, so first week in November. So it'll probably be getting here right when I get back from SEMA.
Right.
So the week after SEMA will be Sonic Week. Right, we'll be working on all the MSS stuff. So I wanted to build a tool set, master collection, and then we'll have different progressive steps. But I wanted to build a tool set that fits that specifically. And so I've been working on that for a month and a half or so, and so we finally sort of nailed down. Turns out I only need to make 4 new foams, and I was able to work within the current foams to not end up with a bunch of redundancy and end up with a really robust set. That helps me cost-wise, what the retail cost is going to be, because if it already exists, I don't have to recreate it. It helps me inventory and cash flow-wise. I don't have to buy like 100 bespoke of 20 different drawers. But it works out to be 19 total drawers, 18 main, and then we have it set up to where there's, where there's like an A, B, C, D, E version of how the drawer.
Yeah, there's
layout.
16. There's 16 normal drawers and then 3 car or auxiliary.
And so the MSS has large drawers and medium drawers.
Yep.
So it's a 34-inch wide drawer and a 26.5-inch wide drawer. And so I worked within the system to get the right amount of large, the right amount of medium, so you could theoretically do the whole set in 2 cabinets.
Right.
So the 34 drawer is a 9 drawer, so you would use 8 of the normal size, and the 9th drawer is a tall drawer, which you wouldn't want to waste on a foam if you could help it. You could if you wanted to, but you wouldn't want to waste that. And then you have the same thing, 9 drawer on a 26.5, It's a 720 millimeter drawer and an 890 millimeter drawer.
Right.
And so we have it set up. Actually, is it an 8? Yeah, it is an 890. So we'll have a full set. Now that set is like 20 grand.
Yeah.
You know, so most people aren't going to do that. But what we're going to do next year is we're going to do and try to educate everybody and really do focus marketing, focus discussing each foam. So we'll make a marquee specific OG channeled video on each drawer, and then maybe run some sort of promotion or some reason to get it, and then try to talk people into spending 20 grand over 12 months, which will be a little easier.
Like a step-by-step progression.
Yeah, a little easier to convince you.
Yeah, Tool of the Month Club.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we'll figure out, and we're going to work with Sonic on some sort of promotion, and maybe there's something at the end. You know, those people that get to the end of it, we get something cool.
Well, maybe they get the last one or last two free, right? So you buy the, if it's 16, right? You bought 14 month by month, and then maybe that.
Yeah, we're going to come up with some sort of incentive.
We'll figure something out.
To do it, and now that we're starting to develop deeper relationships. So this is something, I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast, but one of the things I've always been reluctant is to go narrow and deep or to garner exclusivity, because I want to be able to move and fire a company and find something different.
Change.
Well, we've kind of reached the limit of the vast majority. I've kind of found the vast majority of what exists.
Right.
And so from here on out, we're working with brands to tell them what the next step is. Here's what we want to make this better. Right. And so now I can go with a Sonic that I know is the company that has what I want. Right. I know that there's no other company that has a better version of what they do. And so the better version is going to be what we tell them to make with us, or what they present to us.
And they have a lot more trust in us to be able to deliver on the promise. Right?
So now that we're doing that and we're going narrower and deeper, now we can start to play the promo game. You know, I haven't been able to do that. I haven't been able to structure that or set that up.
But it's not promotional in the sense that we're going to be, blasting out ads. It's more about
incentivizing
collective sets, right? Like, go finishing the collection versus.
And I'll have the buying power and the margin and the room to be able to create incentive structures, because I haven't been able to do that to this point. When you're making 25 or 30% margin, and then I don't have the room to ship it for free. I don't have the room to create an incentive structure to run. I don't want to get in a discounting program, but to have some sort of incentive structure to, hey, if you follow us along, if you go all the way down to the end of the rainbow here, there should be some gold at the end of the rainbow for everybody. So that's what we're going to be able to do.
The other thing we've done too is we historically had a lot of vendors that would run promotions, and we wouldn't participate in them.
Right.
So, because we sort of have a philosophy of we don't do promos.
Right.
But the reality is we were kind of doing a disservice to the customer base, right?
Or they'd have to go around it. They have to not buy it from us.
So now what we're doing is if Swiss Tracks, for instance, is running a promo, we try to run the same promo with them so that you guys get that option or opportunity to buy from us.
But that requires some operational and organizational excellence and structure in order to be able to keep track of that.
Yeah.
And the lesson learned on Milwaukee is it was impossible.
Yeah.
And the margins weren't, and the profitability wasn't there to hire somebody to keep up. I would have to hire a dedicated human or two and I would have had to sell $2 million a year just to pay their salary, just to break even. Right. And so it didn't make sense. But in a case like Swiss Tracks, where there's one SKU.
Yeah,
it's one item,
and there's not that many promotions. There's a couple
they do it
every
twice
year,
a year, right?
So,
and so then we can keep up to date with that, and then not have to send people to other websites to buy things, because the struggle is that for one, I do a lot of good for the world, or good for products, and then we kind of don't get to participate in that,
right?
And it's a disservice to me and my future jet purchasing ability. No, I'm kidding. It's a disservice to the organization and the ability for us to continue to chase and develop things. If we're more profitable, If we can participate more, then we can go and create new and better products out there. Just create some more leverage for me.
I mean, we have a business model, and we try to meet our business model so we can keep the lights on. But above that, we can try to push it through and improve the price, or do a promo, or do a collection, and provide the benefit. So let's start with our first question. I was wondering if this would come up. Shane says, MaxFlow or Active 2.0 for garage washer today with only a 15 amp plug?
Well, right now it's active.
Yeah.
MaxFlow's got some work to do. I blew up the MaxFlow because I forgot to put oil in it. We talked about that last week, didn't we?
Not here, no.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
I think you did. It's on is that on the Matt Moorman channel? Is that out yet?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So
don't blame MaxFlow for that.
Yeah.
That wasn't their fault. That was our fault.
So we have some prototypes, some like working production prototypes that came straight from China, and so they don't have oil. We think that they'll ship with oil when we are shipping in the U.S. if we take on this task. But the owner had reached out to me and all the other YouTubers a long time ago, and I kind of blew him off, and he stayed persistent. And so then I finally said, fine, just send me one. And we opened it up as a team, and like, this thing looks pretty good, you know. And my lessons learned in the past with Active and Krenzla and other brands is that, well, I don't want to do all the work and tell you exactly what to make, and then you make it, and then you go sell it to everybody else, and then I can't even get it.
Right.
So I said to him, I said, well, look, before I do a bunch of work on this thing, can we come to some sort of agreement if I'm going to share, the knowledge that we have as an organization and all this data that we've been able to gather, and then just my secret sauce, whatever that is. Look, if we're going to do this, because I'm fairly certain what you have right now isn't going to be right.
Yeah.
But the question was, do we have like something to work with? Just like with Pressol, the original Pressols weren't right, but do we have something we can work with?
The bones are there.
Correct. And so we opened the thing, and the fit finish, like, it's compact, it's heavy, it's the plastics are stout, the anodized aluminum inlet outlet. We popped the cover off, and the wiring inside is dialed. Clearly a organization that knows how to manufacture, right? And now he's manufacturing something that he's not a subject matter expert in this. They manufacture other items as well. And so, I've never been against Chinese manufacturing. In fact, many times Chinese manufacturing can be done better if done by the right people. The problem is you need to have expertise. That's where an Active or a Karcher or a MaxFlow, and Eric from MaxFlow can come in, and that has that expertise on how to manufacture. And so he brings in the machine. We test the machine out, it has tons of flow. It's completely different. This was what was cool about Active as well, because Active was the first one to said, well, it's a radial axial pump, but what if we did 5 plungers instead of 3? Could we operate on the same 120 volt, 15 amp circuit and get more flow, get more result? And so the concept was, we'll keep costs down on an inexpensive pump and pump head and motor. We'll add in this new technology, which I believe he patented, and so then he can get more flow out of. But this same design of a radial axial pump with a wobble plate, a pressure switch, a pump head, and then a electric motor. And so the interesting thing about the MaxFlow is it's a different technology.
That's right.
It's producing pressure differently. It has through a different type of structure. It has a, what do they call it? A moving magnet.
Linear induction.
Yeah, so it's a moving magnet electric motor so it's a linear induction style. Which there's some benefits. It's a little quieter, but there's a ramp. And ramp up and ramp down, which we can solve that. There's no mechanical pressure switch, which means now you have software instead of hardware.
It's firmware driven. So, but the good news is that means it's also tunable. So
So the question is, can we tune that out? Can we have it relatively instantly turn on and relatively instantly turn off? and then what's the longevity of that? Now this pump is going to be $300, $400, $500 or less, and it's serviceable, so you can change the oil. Active, you can technically change the oil, but it's not as serviceable. And then it's the question is software better than hardware? Will the software create more problems or less problems? And we don't know the answer to this stuff, so that's what we're working on.
And the linear induction's more efficient, so that's why you can get so much flow out of it, right? Because you got more motor behind it.
Right. So and the part of the ramp is so we think so that it doesn't have a massive inrush and trip the breaker. But this is going to take some development, and he obviously wants me to be the guy to do it because I'm the guy to do it. But the question is, do I want to do it? Was it a good enough baseline? And so what I did is you gave me one and you told me what oil to put in it, and this rarely happens to me, but it never when I open the box and I open it up, I'm making the video, I'm moving the cars around, it never even crossed my mind. And then when I blew it up, 3 wheels in, halfway through the 4th wheel with no oil, still never even crossed my mind. Came in here to show you the video. I'm like, this thing isn't probably going to work.
Right.
Because the first one I had was tripping my breaker.
Yep.
And so there's something weird with the software and certain types of GFIs.
And that's what they've been working on is that there's something going on with some of the GFIs.
And so this was the second one, and I'm like, well, the second one didn't work either. And so I was showing you the video, and it's grinding, and you're like, did you put the oil in it? It's like, oh, no. And then it hit me. It was like that epiphany.
Yeah.
But interesting, really interesting tech. Fit and finish is amazing. He has price point room where we can kind of target a certain margin and price point. We've come to some agreements on how we can sort of collaborate together where I'm not getting screwed. I don't want to share all of what I want. There's some value. I know that people watching this probably think I'm nuts, but there's extreme value in knowing what needs to be made. And sometimes I don't even know. I just have to kind of figure it out.
Right.
And that has some value, and then of course all of you guys are the real value with the the audience, the people that can light the match for the product.
It's really the tuning. I mean, if you use the car analogy, right? I mean, what's the difference between a Hyundai and a Porsche, right? I mean, a lot of it's just pure tuning and knowledge. I mean, there's obviously price point stuff, but you can have a really inexpensive car that's got a really well-tuned suspension that drives a lot better than something more expensive. Right?
Yep.
So the tuning is where it's at.
I mean, you think of the Porsche analogy, they all use the same block, right? And then they bolt on different turbos.
Well, I'm thinking ECU. Like suspension tuning and just the way the car feels, right? I mean, there's a set of engineers that understand the feeling that the car should have, and they're tuning the car to that feeling, right? So I think it's the same thing for us. Let's see here. Who's next? It says, I'm going to miss the live, so I'm going to get my questions in early. You showed us the design studio a long time ago. What challenges have you faced getting it to where you are now?
Oh, boy.
Just deciding to do it.
The decision to take the risk, all of the work that I'm doing to make sure that I have the bandwidth to be able to do it. Thank goodness that they took a long time to build. They took longer to build it.
Right.
It's made me kind of revamp my entire Obsessed Garage as a company and a strategy and a direction. Matt wasn't here. Mark wasn't here. I've done some. So there's financial, there's inventory, there's strategy, there's forecast. So there's a lot that's gone into the undertaking. I'm very aware of the complexity and the risk that doing this has. I'm also very aware that if I do it right, the opportunity. And so what I'm looking to do is to mitigate energy and risk, and then to take it on and reduce as much as possible the risk of it. And so luckily it taken longer to build it, and then it's taken us, we've had some time to negotiate and kind of figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. The lesson learned is I pitched a lot of the Wolf Sub-Zeros and the Ritex too early.
Right.
So some of the new big brands I don't have a relationship with, I pitched too early, so I look a little dumb.
Yep.
And that they're like, okay, this guy's selling us a bill of goods. So that was a lesson. But I feel I'm starting to feel good. We'll close on the Helen House November 5th. So everything's good there. So we should be good. Survey's done. The purchaser's good. He's already started transferring, and setting up electric and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a cash deal, so
right.
I don't have to worry about contingencies and financing and stuff like that. Its insurance is lined up. So that comes off the books for me. We've done some reorg here. Yeah. We rolled out a handbook, like a formal employment structure, which I'm going to need, especially for hiring, dozens and dozens of people. So we have a formal structure for, the work schedule and vacation policy, benefits. We've never defined that. It's just been kind of a handshake deal for everybody that's here. And that's pretty common in a startup.
Small business. Yeah.
And so as we make this organizational transition, we're ratcheting back on the amount of products to really be able to focus in on the products. I've given the team the authority that when I get, say, hey, we should make this new product, they can ask questions, does it fit?
Yeah.
Because, and so slowing me down a little bit in order to speed up. And so that's created the capacity for, like, just this week alone, we've hired a contractor, and still don't have a lease signed yet, which is perfect.
Yeah.
What I didn't want to do is lease, sign, and then I start the process. So we're like firing on all cylinders. We have our architect signed. And because it's such a cool project,
is the architects on board?
Oh yeah, signed.
Cool. Awesome.
We're meeting on Tuesday to do the picking everything out,
cool.
And so they've like changed their schedule. They've committed to having me stamped, sealed plans by Christmas Eve.
Wow.
And so I may not even have a lease by then, which would be great.
Yeah.
So.
Then we're just ready to go when we want to.
I've already met with Village's marketing, and so then I have another meeting scheduled to do my marketing video with them. I met the two big YouTuber Villager people at the 5K.
Oh, did you?
So I kind of started buttering them.
Did they run
up.
with you?
They walked, with their camera. But they, it's funny. I'm standing there and I'm kind of the famous guy. No one knows squat, and there's people coming up to them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leverage their celebrity here locally to develop my own celebrity as well, right? But they knew who I was, which was fun. Oh, you're the big channel here, the big YouTuber. I was like, yeah. Well, I'm used to being the small YouTuber hanging out with all my, multi-million subscriber buddies, you know. With TJ Hunt and Adam LZ.
Most of those folks have like 10 or 20,000 subscribers.
Right. The big
ones are 20,000.
I think they have 25,000, and they're like, famous in the villages. But what I want them to do is come and walk the project and see it and give them access. And those people love to do it. And what I'll probably do is do some sort of YouTuber summit here with all the village YouTubers, and I'll bring in Adam and Freddie and have them talk about how to engage an audience and teach them about cameras, and have Wabba talking about their cameras because they all look like they're shooting on a potato, So to answer your question, a lot is going into this contractor. And then I'm working behind the scenes to subcontract the subcontractors we're going to work with, and then I'm starting to identify who's going to run it for me, all that kind of things. Who's going to work with Chris Gorberry to run it, and it's
a very different plan. I mean, I've been here 6 months. It's a very different plan than what I walked in and we were talking about. So
this is the struggle, and I'm sure some of the people that work for me or watch think that there's all this change, all this wishy-washy, this
churn.
But this is what you have to do to figure it out,
That's right.
And so now that I understand that, I can not necessarily disclaim it, but I can set people up to understand this is going to be a moving document here. You know, this is a live organism that we're reacting to. And so some reaction is intelligent, some reaction is emotional, some reaction is right, some is wrong, but it's how I got here.
Right.
You know, you don't get to, unless you're just gifted, to just do it right the first time, first trial.
In my old business, we used to, our main competitor was a much bigger, stronger company, and we used to call them the super tanker. You know, they would just go plow one direction, and we always felt like we were more like a sailboat. We had to tack. And so to me, it's the same analogy, right? We're tacking back and forth to make progress forward.
Yep.
So sometimes you got to change direction.
But I think the really cool thing, with the realignment of how we're sharing, like this, we're on this simpler YouTube channel, right? So this channel is, people know what to expect.
Yep.
Right. It's very specific. It's very detailed. It's very long form. It's highly not highly edited. And then the Obsessed Garage channel is kind of more of our marketing engine, right? It's our top of funnel.
It's more garage and product and detailing.
Right. It's where you may discover us. It's going to be more palatable for people who maybe aren't obsessed. Maybe they just aspire to be obsessed, and then people here on this channel are obsessed.
Right.
Or at least really admire and want to sort of dig into the details. And so the design studio is going to fit very well with the Garage Obsession channel, with the the main channel, where I'm going to be able to show all the behind the scenes stuff here, and then we can summarize that on the OG channel, and it's going to be very. It's going to really, I think people are really going to enjoy the sharing of the structure of building the business here on the Matt Moorman channel, but then the product side of things on the Obsessed Garage channel. What does it look like? How does it come together? And then we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of examples, if we're lucky, of projects to show people. Here's the start, here's the finish. And I think that's going to be our next phase of existence, and then that's going to drive the e-com and national business as well.
Yep.
So yes, we're leveraging the local community. I don't know where that ends up. Do we end up building showroom in Los Angeles or something? I don't know that I want to go down that path, but who knows? Who knows?
So we talked about the design studio, but maybe we talk about the rear studio. That a lot of progress this week.
Swiss Tracks went down. The 2-post lift is in.
Yeah.
This is why we do what we do. The 2-post lift has a bunch of German wiring conversion issues.
Yes.
And so it's best for us to figure that out. And we had this same thing with the 7000, where we were having issues where it was overamping and the relay was arcing.
Right.
And then the how long of hoses do you need? How do you manage the thing? And so this is why we needed to get a 2-post in my possession, install it, use it, understand it, get the different types of arms. And Nussbaum is smart enough now to know, hey, these guys will solve it for us for the residential. For commercial, they just ship it off and then the commercial company figures it out.
Right.
But for residential, you've got to have that all vetted.
And it sounds like they've made some progress too, because that lift is only 3-phase power, and they're working on a single phase, which can work in residential space.
But the posts are 114 inches tall, so it'll fit in a 10-foot garage. We will show you how to you should wire underneath rather than up top, because then it's 12 feet high if you try to run the wires up top.
The pipe up there.
Its fit finish is incredible. We'll show you what the difference between a screw type versus a hydraulic type. So it's actually a much simpler, much more sophisticated, but simpler overall design, much safer.
Right.
And so having that there is important. And then we're going to put the 9000 in, and I get to live with the 9000. You get to really deep dive and see the 9000. You've seen the 7000 a ton because I had that at the Arn building, and then having that here and showing you how it all works, I think then gets you over the hump. Especially if you're going to spend $15,000 on a 9,000 pound scissor lift. The 2-post is only $7,500.
Yeah, it's reasonable. I mean, it's a little more expensive than a bend pack, but
It's a lot
German
nicer. Manufacturing.
Yeah, it's definitely fit and finish is really nice, and then it's quiet. And, up and down is infinite, right? There's no stops, there's no clunking, there's no safety to pull.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty slick. So anyway, that series starts this weekend, and so make sure you're checking that out. But yeah, so the Swiss Trax is now down. We're gonna have to wait for the 9,000 pound lift because they sent us a 7,
right?
And so we're waiting for the 9,000, and then next 2 weeks will be lev rack. They're working on the vacuum. We'll be installing the dual ARs, and OG wash station on the dual ARs.
Yeah, I saw the guys had your wash stations built. Right?
Correct. So wash station, because this is my product, the cabinet structure and everything of it, I'm going to hold that. So we're going to show it to you, but we're not going to dig into that. We're going to have full deep dives on that when we're ready to launch. So I don't know that Tommy's picked everybody, but just mention it one last time. I think he has enough people, but just in case you want to be one of the beta testers, you have to buy it. So you're not getting anything for free. You got to buy it. And you got to be willing to have some Zoom meetings to help us, develop this. But if you're one of those types that likes to be an early adopter, or you just want it and you want it early, hit up Tommy at obsessedgarage.com. If you don't hear from him, you weren't picked.
Right.
Because he's going to have he's drinking from a fire hose at the moment.
Yeah, and I think we're allowing, if you have a recent pressure washer, you already have the pressure washer, that's okay. We'll let you, you don't have to buy that again, but for the most part, it's a whole system, so.
Yeah, so you're buying a hose reel and hose and all that stuff. But I know he's working with some people that if you have a bunch of the gun in one and nozzles and stuff. So we need 10 singles and 5 duals.
5 duals. Yeah. We have 20 boxes total back there. And they're modular. So you basically do a dual, you buy 2 singles and there's a way to connect them. So it's pretty
So there'll be an
pretty modular
upgrade path, and then a full suite of supporting products. But right now, for the foreseeable future, until we say otherwise, you're buying the system. You're buying the wash station.
Right.
The pivoting, articulating hose reel, the hose reel, the hose, the pressure washer, the shelf, the tank, the resin, all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Can you apply ceramic coatings outdoors? Because not everybody has access to a garage. What would be your recommendation?
Sure. Yeah. When you're doing it outdoors, and if it's a dusty, dirty, nasty environment that you're in, then just do one panel at a time. Do one of a fender. So polish it, polish the whole car. Once the car's done and you're ready to apply, just take the fender, use carpet eraser or something, and erase that fender, and then.
What about sunlight?
I mean, just do it in the morning or evening.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with that.
It's going to flash a lot faster if it's in the sun.
Your panel's going to be hot. I wouldn't want that variable introduced, but get a pop-up tent and try to get some shade or something like that, or do it at
out
night.
Of direct sunlight.
Yeah, but you can certainly do it. I mean, I coated tons of cars. Now, it was covered in my outdoor wash bay, but I did tons of detailing out there.
Yeah. Okay, Invasion HD. Matt, I've seen one of your vids. You have an Autel scanner. What model is that, and would you recommend? Did you have any issue when the subscription expires with some of the features stopped working?
I had to just re-up the subscription, I guess. So I guess when you buy it, you get a subscription with it. I guess it was like $600.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one I have. It's just I just went on their site and I bought. It's like a $600 or $700 one. It's not great. It seems to do everything I needed to do.
I'm not familiar. What's an Autel scanner do? What
it's so you can like reset your service light and run codes and
an OBD scanner.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
gotcha.
It's a little clunky, a little slow at times, but it like I want to reset my airbag light, I can do that. And Freddie had one, and I thought they were like $10,000.
Right.
They're like $500 or $600. I was like, "Can I borrow your Autel?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And he's brought it over, and I'm thinking this thing's like $10,000 because it can work on any car.
But it sounds
I looked
like
it up, and I think it's $700, $800, $600.
Right, but you got to resubscribe to get it to work.
Yeah, but it's like $50 or something for
That's
the
not
year
bad.
or something like that.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. Yep. It's okay. It's whatever I think it was $5.99. I bought it on their site direct, and it's nothing special.
Right.
So it's not like, oh man, you got to get this model. I think you just pick one.
Let's see here. Matt, saw your post about your 5K time. Very good. Did you ever have any cramping after your run? If so, what'd you do about it?
No, I don't cramp. I don't ever have cramps. I think probably because maybe that would change if I get lighter, but like I think when you're chubbier, you carry more water, right? So if you have some body fat, cramping, I think is a less of an issue. And I just think that's sort of hereditary, right?
I think there's that. Water intake makes a huge deal. Salt as well, right?
Yeah, and so I take in lots of salt and drink lots of water, and just naturally, So I would be willing to bet that I don't carry water around everywhere I go.
Right.
The people that carry around water everywhere they go drink probably a third the amount of water that I do every day. I just drink in the kitchen.
Right. You just drink it all in one.
Just drink when I'm thirsty. I don't have to. Yeah, I don't have to be like this sipping water all the time.
Right.
If I was, then I'd have to pee every 5 seconds. Yeah. So I talked. Didn't I rant on the race last one about people like all this primping and carb loading and prepping and water stations on the race? And all this
that
stuff?
wasn't on the podcast. That may have been on one of your videos.
So all right, I'll tell you guys. So that's right, because it was Saturday. Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do this darn thing, so I almost didn't go. Because I got a freaking Uber over there because I can't freaking drive there. So I got an Uber over there, and I'm like, I'll just run out the front door and see what I can do. I was like, no, I bet you I'll probably run a better time if I got some motivation from people.
Yeah.
So I get there, and there's like
1,500
people.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
a
of people.
bunch of people. Right? There's a lot of people at this thing. It's in downtown, and so I get there, and I drank. I just did a little bit. I do this every morning before I work out at CrossFit. I do Perfect Aminos, which won't break your fast. So it's a scoop of Perfect Aminos, which is amino acid supplement. And then I put 4 pinches of Baja Gold salt.
Yeah.
Shake it up, drink that down. So I'm drinking, maybe 24 ounces of water with the aminos. And so I drank that on the way to the race. That was it. I'm fasted,
right?
And so I get to the race, and I went and got my racing bib, and trying to figure that out, and there's not a lot of direction. There's even on the site, I guess because it's so simple, but you think it's more complex than it is. So I was looking for okay, what do I do? Where do I go? I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, plus a lot of people have done it. It's
everybody but me.
Once,
right.
It's
now I
pretty
get it.
Self-explanatory.
But I get there. I have no idea where I'm going, what I'm doing, because you could pick up your race bib before, and I'm like, oh shoot, was I supposed to do that?
The day before or whatever.
So then I go, and so I got there. Race starts at 8. I left my house at 7, got there at 7:20, got my race bib, went and took a leak, found a buddy who had a booth there so I could throw my bag. Say, can I throw my bag in your booth?
Right.
And then I start looking, and they kind of announce, well, there's a 6-minute line, an 8-minute. If your mile time is 6 minute, 8 minute, but this was really loose.
I warned you about that.
And the reason why I know it's loose is because no one's running an 8-minute. There's 10 people running an 8-minute mile in this whole race,
Yeah, and there's ladies
20 people.
And there's ladies with strollers in that line.
right. So anyway, I couldn't even see where the line was because there's so many people. And so I just kind of standing on the side, and then I just looking at these people, I'm like, I'm probably going to be pretty fast here. At first I was thinking I'd go back to the 8. I don't want to get in anybody's way. I want to run my race. I don't want to get in anybody's way. And so then I'm just looking at the people, and I'm like, oh, I need to go to the very front.
Move up.
And so I go up to the very front, and I'm standing. There's like a chain, whatever, a little pylon on each side, but you could just step over. So I'm standing on the outside of that,
right?
And I could see the cross country team up front, and they're in hot dog and Superman capes, and they're all dressed up for whatever.
Goofy,
yeah. And so I'm like, well, I'm not going to run faster than those kids. And they're chomping at the bit to run. And I noticed another 40-year-old guy, but he had a race, like a running race bib.
So you can tell he's a runner.
I'm like, this guy's a runner. And so I just kind of elbowed and said, hey, what do I do here? I said, look, I'm going to run, I think like a 22.
Right.
Where should I be? He's like, you should be up here. He's like right up here. He says, I'm probably going to run a sub 20, but I can just tell that, you know, and he's run, clearly the guy's run tons of races. So I'm talking to him a little bit. And then another kid, like shirtless kid, runner looking kid, you know, next to me. So we're kind of talking. And so I'm trying not to judge people, you know, but the people, there's like 800 people running in this race. And so it's an out and back.
Right.
So you kind of snake through the town square, you know, and, you know, there's people lining the streets to watch, right? And so the gun fires, and I'm just running my race. And I probably ran, and I knew I would run, say, 20, 30 seconds faster than what I trained. Because you'd have the...
you have adrenaline.
And I've got a timer on me.
Right.
And so I started out, and there's a mass of probably 50 people that sprinting. Everybody's sprinting.
Right.
And I'm like, I know I'm not doing that. And so I just let everybody go.
Yeah.
And so there's probably 50 people that run. So there were 10 people in front of me.
Right.
Another 40 go past.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of them kids.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm just running my race. So I'm running like a 6:40.
Right.
And my watch is, and I screwed up because I used
you didn't start your watch on time. Right?
No, well, I didn't start it on time. And then Runna's telling me, slow down. I'm like, oh, dang it. I should have just done Strava or didn't tell me what I was doing.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't need to slow. I feel good. I'm going to keep going. And it's too loud, and I'm just trying to freaking mess with the watch, but I'm cruising. And so then I just start running past people.
Yeah, you start reeling everybody in.
Running past people. And there's one girl in front of me, and I'm kind of pacing off of her. But I could not reel her in. I could tell she's like in her 30s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang it!
Is this the cross country coach?
Yeah, I found this afterwards. She's the cross country coach. And so, then around mile 1, there's no one around, right? Because there's I finished 16th, so there's maybe 20 people in front of me, right, total at this time. And then the kids start falling off at about a mile, all the sprinter kids, not the cross country kids, but the middle school cross country kids, because they get all amped up and then they
don't know how to pace themselves.
Right. And so I'm running, and you make the turn, you come around the turn, and then so it's the right side, the yellow line on the right side of the country road that they block off, and it's straight. Which is brutal because you're just running. It's like
straight.
You can't see the horizon. You know, it's never going to end. But then you get halfway there, and I'm running like a 6:40, and I'm like, I'm 6:30. I'm feeling pretty good. It tailed off a little bit to like, I think I hit like 7 minutes for a few hundred yards when we were kind of running up a little grade.
Sure.
But I was just keeping my pace. And I noticed there was some guy on my hip just kind of running with me. And then when we made the turn, and he went past me, and the older guy, and I was like, but I couldn't tell how old because he was super lean, runner dude.
Sure.
And so I'm just going to keep running my race, and I'm hurting. I'm probably 155, 160 heart rate.
Okay.
So I'm hurting,
pushing.
but I'm doing all right. I'm just cruising. And so then we come back and pass a few more people, and so I started thinking, but I let the guy go. So he was probably running like a 6:30 on the back half. So this was clearly a runner who knew to pace the front half and then run harder the second half. And so then we come, and I'm maybe, I don't know, 200 yards, 300 yards from the finish, and I was like, dawned on me, crap, this guy might be in my division. Because I knew it was a bunch of kids in front of me, and the cross country coach. And I knew that the two other guys. Now I didn't know how old the guy was that was running 18s or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh crap! I mean, I shouldn't have let this guy go. And so then I started to run him down at the end, and like from me to you, I didn't get him. And I'm like, oh crap! Turns out he's 59, so he's not in my age division.
So you should have beat him anyways, but you didn't because he's
correct
15 years older than you.
Yeah, for sure. And so I finished 16th. I ran a 20:50, and there were the cross country coach He was 38 because you
Right.
can see everybody's age.
Yeah.
I like the data. I'm like, this data. This is the best part of the whole race was the data at the end of it. I can analyze all this stuff. There was there were two 44-year-olds, luckily, because I was 45-year-old division. So I technically won.
Those youngsters were in front of you.
Yeah. So they ran like the guy that I had met, he finished second in his division.
Right.
And he ran like in 1940 or something. So he was a minute faster than me.
Right.
And the guy that beat him was a minute faster than him. And they were like early 40s or the mid 40s, one year shy of my division.
Right.
And so then in my age division, I've got first. And so there were those two guys, the cross-country coach and the 59-year-old. So I say I really got fifth because the rest was the cross-country team. And so the cross-country kids. I think the kid who won was 20, and he was the former Villages cross-country, college cross-country runner, ran a 16:50 or something. So it wasn't a super fast race.
Yeah.
But I was just shocked that I thought I would have finished in the top 200, of 800.
But
now part of it's the Villages.
Come on, yeah. I mean, the average age of this race is like 62 years old. Or
maybe,
right? Or higher.
But I don't know that it would be all that different anywhere else. Maybe if you're in Dallas or something.
Yeah, it would be different.
I certainly wouldn't finish 16th, but still, the thing that was so shocking was the mediocrity of humanity.
Yeah.
Why would you? I have no business being there.
Well, there's a lot of people that just come for the camaraderie and.
I'm just such a curmudgeon.
Did they have all the booths and everything after? Like you can get your samples and it's like a party, right? So a lot of people do it for that.
I mean, there's people coming in an hour and 10 minutes
for a 5K.
For a 5K,
that's barely walking,
right? That's why I'm like, this is insane. Now, a few of them have like canes and so I get that,
fair.
but it was and the thing that really bothers me is like one lady was like they're like trying to force like banana. What do I need a banana? I don't need a sugar rush after running. And so like bananas and get hydrated. And they got water stations on the race. It's 68 degrees, 40% humidity, 30% humidity. And the sun isn't even up yet.
Right.
And they've got water stations every 200 yards and people are taking water and dumping it on their head and drinking. I'm like, what are we doing? We're doing a 5K. It's not a marathon here. And that stuff just frustrates the heck out of me. And then just people they got, some people have like the hydration packs on their vests on and then everybody's
double water bottles.
Everybody's
mounted.
clapping. They're just like, good job. I'm like, that's not a good job. It's 59 minutes and you're coming in. You ran about 4 feet, and then I love it when they run at the very end. And you see
sprint the last 10
this
steps.
big beer belly old guy, is in his wife, and God bless him for getting out there. But I can't help it. I'm not supposed to have a judge or an assessment or opinion here, but I'm just like, how can you suck that bad at life? But it was really good for me to just accept, and I'm starting to understand the world a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And understand, and this will help me in hiring. It'll help me in it'll help me in engagement with others. It'll help me in my neighborhood. Like I got out of the Middleton Facebook groups. Yeah. Like being average, do average elsewhere. Right. And I don't need to have a judgment around it. I don't need to be insecure in, well, if I'm going to go run a race, I'm going to try to run it to the best of my ability, and I'm going to learn about it a little bit. If I'm going to, I don't know, look at a speaker, I'm going to like get interested in it and learn about it. And the fact that like of the 800 people that are at the race, about 25 of them would actually do the research on the speaker that they're interested in. They just don't do that with anything, and they're just not. These are just regular people. Yeah. And regular people are wired very differently. And regular people, because I look at people, I'm like, man, if that person trained and they ate properly and they did all this stuff, they would run a race. Now, a real runner's probably looking at me the same way and saying, like, if you actually trained properly and ate properly and weren't doing these extreme diets and stuff, they're probably thinking the same thing. But there's a difference between elite
Yeah.
and like above average, and then like really good at stuff. I like the really good at stuff. I like to think I'm elite in the garage space.
Yeah.
But even then, there's room to grow from there. But of the 800 people, there's like 2 or 3 people of the 800 that are elite at something.
Right.
And then there's like 50 that are like above average and really good. And then the rest of them are just brain dead. Worthless.
Well, they might be elite at something else.
No.
They're not elite. They're not an elite accountant or nothing.
They're just mediocre at everything.
All right.
If you can show up to a 5K and
I
walk
thought we
it,
weren't judging. I thought you said you were like.
I'm
backing up
assessing.
and-
It's not a judgment.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's judgment,
assessing.
assessment, or opinion. Yeah, okay, all right. I'm not going to do it. Never mind. Sorry, I'm insulting half the people watching this. It's just I don't know what to do with all that, but it was like I was in some sort of culture fish out of water scenario.
Right.
Didn't understand it. But I felt good that I'd set out to run,
Well, you like the process.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So you started training like 3 months ago for this.
So I started it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know I went too far. So I
Right.
went to a 3 or 4 day a week
Yeah.
platform
That'll
instead
be-
of 6. I figured I set the program up at 6 and I'll run the 7th on my own.
No.
And I broke, you know.
Your body.
And so
tells
what
you.
actually really worked probably was overtraining and then dialing way back. And so then I was pretty fresh.
Yeah. Then 3 or 4 feels easy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And then a
yeah.
5K feels easy.
Yeah. So I'm doing I'm probably going to do it again. I'm going to do the I just want to get the sub 20 and then quit.
When's the next one? Which square is it? Sumter?
Yeah, but that's in like February. That's going to suck. I mean, cold's crap.
Right. Is that the next one?
Then the one I'm going to do it with my gym buddies in I think in November.
Which one is that?
It's the Leesburg whatever,
it's
Turkey Trot or something.
Okay,
like
so
that.
it's not a Villages thing.
No.
Gotcha.
So maybe there'll be more, not.
There'll be more people there, and it'll be a younger crowd.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be a
Definitely.
little bit more fun than. Yeah, it was just shocking to me. It like changed my life, like understanding of the world and the mediocrity of it.
Get out and meet people, Matt.
No, I didn't talk to anybody. Just that one guy.
Get out and interact with people. How's that?
Yeah.
All right, let's do some detailing here. Matt, is it normal to go through Breakbuster fast in the Griots Canyon?
Yep.
Cannon.
Yep.
Wheels I clean don't get that dirty. Should I just add Griots tip?
No, you don't want to dilute it even more. You'll be able to do in a 1 liter. You could probably do 5 sets of wheels, 5 washes where you have to fill it up.
Yeah. His next question is, would you recommend using Breakbuster every other wash?
You could, but it's cheap.
Just depends on the wheel and how dirty it is.
Yeah,
too,
I mean,
right?
in comparison to other products,
If it's a
Breakbuster's pretty
BMW, you
cheap.
need to use Breakbuster every time you clean it.
Right.
If it's a Ford or a Toyota, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, and think of the foam can is actually going to be much more efficient than you're spraying it on with with a spray bottle.
Yeah.
It might end up being about the same, but I think I'd probably at least 3 sets, but probably 5 sets of wheels per 1 liter. I mean, if you're in the foam can, you're just hanging out there foaming. I don't like it because the wind blows and gets all over the paint. I just whoosh, like a maybe a 6-second swirl-a-roo on there, and I'm done.
Right. Well, he's following on with my favorite question. Hey, Matt, is it normal for the black wheel mitt to lint and leave black film on the bottom of my bucket after using it for 6 months and a dozen washes?
Well, I don't like using that in a bucket with water. So, but yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, it's
It
because
sheds.
it's shedding.
Yeah,
It's
sheds.
because
it's an animal.
You're sticking your hand in an animal.
But I don't put it in a bucket with water, and so I just keep it in the
I
my-
tried to get Matt to use the microfiber version, and he blew me off.
Yeah,
So
no, lambskin mitt's way
I
better.
just don't understand the lambskin. Like it's
Yeah,
shedding,
I
it's
usually-
leaving fuzz on my driveway.
I usually get 3 to 6 months
It's
out
crispy. You pull it out of the bucket. You got to get it wet.
Yeah,
you got
just-
to sop it up, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just gnarly.
I don't know.
Not
I
my.
tried a bunch of other stuff, and I just keep coming back. It's not perfect, but
It's not very good either. All right, let's see here. Any update for garage lighting alternative? About to do recessed lighting and just checking in before I go all in.
Recessed, no. You could do SLG, is the best we got at the moment. But if you're doing like recessed cans,
Yep.
you could do, what's it called?
Cornet?
No. What are our other lights?
DMF?
DMF, but you have to do 4K. They don't have 5K.
Right.
But we do have the H.E. Williams lights are live and shipping.
Yep.
So you're 2 to 4 weeks to get them. So those are available.
All right. Can I use OG drying aid to my Modesta coating?
I would guess yes, but just try a fender and make sure it doesn't get smeary or weird or do anything. But yeah, it should work.
What's your thought on faux wood acoustic slat wall panels for a living room that has a lot of echo? Have you tried those yet?
They don't do, like, if it's just the wood and there's no like foam interface, those don't do a whole heck of a lot. They can help a little bit. If you're looking for like actual bass trapping or absorbing of additional bass and mid-range frequency stuff, you're not going to get that. But you normally need a fabric, and you need to be pretty thick, like 5 inches or greater. So it may help a little bit, but it's not going to transform. The thing that helps the most with echo in the room is oftentimes furniture.
Yeah.
Or you got to mount them on a darn ceiling. So that pretty looking wood stuff that you've seen with the the vertical wood, that sort of European style stuff, can help, but isn't going to transform.
It certainly can't hurt, right?
No, it wouldn't hurt.
It's probably equivalent to putting like
acoustics treatments can hurt if you go too aggressive, and it can make the room sound dead.
Right.
But or you lose some of the liveliness. But then you can add scatter plates and stuff into it. But you're probably gonna do if you're gonna do that real thin wood stuff, you're gonna do a lot of it, like whole walls. So just keep that in mind to get any sort of measurable result.
Hey Matt, what do you think about the Krenzla X series models like X10/140 TST compared to the K1122?
So the X stuff we never brought here. We thought about it and we talked about it. It's a European only. You lose a little bit, and the pricing was pretty much the same.
Right.
So we never brought it over because it didn't perform as well.
So is it like a budget brand for them?
It was, but it ended up being about the same amount of money for less performance. So they performed, the X series stuff was performing at or around what like a 1622 would do.
Okay.
Gallon and a half a minute. All the X specs you'd see are based on the European grid.
Right.
And it was $200 or $300 less, 2 or 300 euro less, or pounds less in Europe. But here, once we got it landed and got the UL plug and the approvals and all that, it just wasn't worth it. But Angela and I visited that a half a dozen times over the last 4 or 5 years, and it just didn't make sense to bring it here because it was inferior performing, and the cost difference wasn't. We wanted it to be like $400,
right? But
it was, instead of $1,100, it was $1,050. It just wasn't worth it to lose 30% of your performance.
Right. Okay, Matt, I've heard you speak about SVS and VLux Metra HDMI cables recently. What's the pros and cons of each, and where should I purchase them from?
There really isn't a con. They're both certified. They're both tested. They both work on pretty much everything I've used them on. And you just get them on the SVS. Just buy from svs.com. And I don't think we stock those. And then the Metra stuff, we did stock it for a little while, but I don't have it. You can get it. I think Crutchfield has it.
Okay.
So just buy the SVSs from their site. It's really easy. And I think they're probably on Amazon too. And the SVSs are way prettier.
It's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I'm running on my home theater upstairs with the Mad VR, and I'm running 4K 60 on my my Kaleidoscape. So super high band, like 100 megabits per second.
Right.
We're running. Or no, it's 100 megabit. It's 100 megabit I think it's 48 gigabits per second is what we're running through that cable, and I think it works. It works fine. But the other cables, I had some monoprice cables. I had to pull them out; wouldn't work.
Right. Hey Matt, when is the series starting with Ryan and a 335 IS build? Is that a decision? That's too much car for a 16-year-old.
Yeah,
way too much.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You can start them on a golf cart.
Yeah, there you go. Hey guys, Griots engine cleaner or Built Hammer Surfex HD. I've already bought a gallon of Griots, and I'm ordering Meguiar's hyperdressing as my final step either way.
You know, if your engine bay is anything like mine, it's kind of a formality. You could probably just use touchless. You could use GSF. You just need something to lubricate.
Dust.
Yeah. If it's all greasy and grimy, I mean, I think that Surfex HD is adjustable. Your dilution's quite a bit more adjustable than Griots. You know, Griots, I think, is already pre-diluted, and so you're going to dilute it even more in the foam cannon. And so the Surfex is designed to be diluted, where Griots is designed to be used straight up. And so if you're going to foam cannon it, this was my philosophy here to make the change, because when I was in love with the Griots engine cleaner, it's because I knew that they'd vetted it for me,
right?
And I knew it was pre-diluted, and I was spraying it on with a spray bottle. But now that I'm using a foam cannon instead, Surfex is vetted for me, and Surfex is adjustable depending on the dirt and grime.
Right.
So, but if I'm you, I mean, how many engine bays are you going to clean? If you just like new stuff, if you're anything like me, you're going to punt and buy the new stuff because you like new stuff. But if you're more frugal, then you could use that Griots engine cleaner. It's going to last you the rest of your life. But it's $35 or something? You just punt it and get the Surfex, is what I would do. But I'm learning after my 5K, there aren't many of the Matt Mormons out there in the world.
You're a unique beast, Matt. Unique beast. Matt, I'm a novelist stereo guy, and I'm going to do a build on my new Sierra. What do you look to regarding car audio advice?
You got to find a guy, a guy that or find a shop.
Especially with the new stuff, right? Because it's a little more integrated. Right?
Yeah, but now there's all kinds of interfaces and stuff
right.
where you can just plug and play, and you can leave the head unit and still get good quality. I mean, I'm sticking with brands Mosconi, Audison, Dynaudio, Focal, a JL. So you're going to kind of go down that line. And then there's, all kinds of pack interfaces and stuff like that to connect to it. But I want Silk Dome in the car, and so I'm doing Dynaudio or Hertz, speakers. Yeah. And I don't like Focal. And then I'm gonna do primarily Class D now. There's no reason to put Class AB in the car. So you're gonna want a small little Class D amplifier that usually has optical in, and so you can usually grab a digital connection right from your factory harness somewhere with a pack, with some sort of pack adapter interface, and then the optical cable will run into the Mosconi, and then the Mosconi would be the processor. And now they have the processor and amplifier built into one box, like the Mosconi Picos. That's what I have in my my GT3 RS, and it's a tiny little box under the seat. And it has tons of power and tons of amplification.
Right.
I got 2 of them, and I've got 3 ways in the doors. Subwoofer.
Did you install all that, or did you buy it as a kit? Or
no, I sent the car to Sound and Motion.
Okay,
so they did it all for me. But yeah, you're going to want to head down the Mosconi route for amplification. And then you're going to want to pick your drivers, and a lot of that will be dependent on, the installer.
Right. Matt, any update on the Pro slat wall accessories, shelves, foam cannon mounts, etc.?
We're probably a few months out. We're working on the wash station now.
Yeah, the issue we had was we want to get all the products that we produced and are producing working very well.
Yep.
We're inconsistent. We're not in stock necessarily.
That's the wand holder, the foam cannon accessories for the wand holder, the shelves.
Right.
the hose reel mounts. And so we needed to backtrack a little bit with our contract manufacturer to get that up to speed, and then we'll start getting back on track to do the garage tracks and the garage door mounts, and then the ProSlide accessories.
Yeah, we're really trying to focus on a better experience for the new products we bring on, because we didn't do a great job with the old experience. So we want to fix that, get that humming, and then we start to add products into a process that actually works.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you've seen that on the tech support side. People have certainly seen that on the garage design side. You reach out, we get back to you, quickly and get the process started. And so we're working on, again, operational excellence is going to be our word of 2026. Having efficiencies, and then same thing from all the way down from the video to the the marketing, to how it's launched on the site, to how we manage it on the site, how we manage the inventory. And then if we can get this all dialed, we'll have less errors, we'll have more sales, we'll have the ability to get to my 24-month goal, which would be to be free shipping on the East and West Coast and getting products to everybody within 3 days.
Yeah. Matt, 83-inch LG G5 recommended for home theater, or should I be looking for something else?
No, I mean, I think that's great. I mean, the 97 OLED is just sort of cost prohibitive, and so it's the biggest we got. If you're going to do a direct view display, that's what you want. Otherwise, then you would go to projector and screen. By the way, we are now a JVC dealer.
Are we?
Yeah, Rusty had to sign our darn lives away to get.
That's on the Obsessed Home Theater side.
Yep. Yeah, so JVC projectors, but a JVC laser projector is starts at what, $20,000. So.
Wow.
Yeah, getting into big money there.
My garage is 22 by 30 with 120-inch ceilings. What's the best lift on a budget you would recommend?
I mean, you'd probably just do the Sprinter, which gives you 40 inches off the ground. Because if you did a Jumbo 7, see, the problem is the Benpact SP7X doesn't fit most cars. Like it's not long enough.
Right.
And so you need to put like an adapter on it. And even then, it doesn't lift it right from the right jack point. It's just not a good option. The SP7X, I think, is probably like $5,000 or $6,000 now. So if you don't have the money to do a Jumbo 7000, then you do the Sprinter, but the Sprinter doesn't get you to walk under the car. You wouldn't be able to do that with a 10-foot ceiling anyway. But so if you did a 7,000, the 7,000-pound version, you'd be able to use like 2/3 of it. So you'd have to set a stop on it.
What's the benefit? I mean, obviously it's a fixed lift, but a Sprinter versus Quick Jacks, what's the benefit? It's similar, right?
Yeah.
Just a little higher?
Yeah. So a Quick Jack's is going to get you 21 inches off the ground. The Sprinter is going to get you 40.
Okay.
That's a pretty big difference. And then just a big stability difference.
Knowing that it's bolted to the floor.
Correct,
and all that.
correct. Yeah. So unfortunately, the cheapies, the Chinese ones, it's just not. You're going to end up. I learned this lesson with Twin Bush. Twin Bush was a great value. It was German engineered, Chinese made. And then, most of the people, still quite a few of them, the guys out there that still have them work, but they don't support it anymore. You're kind of on your own.
Right.
And, you are going to have that. Those took hours to figure out how to level it, and then it would lose its level, and, because it doesn't have any sort of balancing system. I learned the lesson, the buy once, cry once, and so a best option without waste would be to do the Sprinter, because you'll probably be able to get the lift up to 60 inches with without the thing touching your ceiling.
Right. Yeah.
But is it worth double to get you and more sophisticated installation and everything? The Sprinter is a little easier to do, but the Sprinter with the black and galvanized ramps is really sweet looking.
Will says OG 5K. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't want to think less of all you guys when you're running freaking 38-minute 5Ks. You can do it. You can show up on your own.
Matt, is there any sound deadening sheets or blankets that you recommend that you can put over a door or a small wall?
No. I don't like that kind of drapery and stuff. It gets a little tacky. What I would do is mount the acoustic treatment to get a thinner acoustic treatment and mount it to the door.
Let's see here. I think we're to the end of the comments. If you have any other questions, put it in. I did have a couple other notes here. Mitsubishi for sale?
I mean,
is it going to be for sale?
Yeah, once we get it finished, so it's got to go up and get tuned,
right?
And then
that's the last bit, though, right?
Yeah, and then I'll probably list it for sale. I think I'm going to list it for. I'm not into it as much as I thought. I'm into it for like 115. I thought I was into it 135.
Okay,
and so I can take a loss, and so I'm probably going to list it for 80. And watch the internet explode, watch everybody get real angry, and then have one guy say, "Look, I just want a really nice Evo, and I'm going to buy it and try it." But it would have been smarter to just do it all stock and sell all the parts separately. Right. But I don't want to do that, so I'm going to just sell it. And so, yeah, that'll be an early January thing. Once I'm in the garage back there,
right.
And
then you have a little more time to mess with it.
Yep. And once the Helen House is sold and we kind of get our inventory figured out, it's like I'm not hurting for cash quite as bad.
Right.
I'll take my time on it, and maybe it'll hang around a little bit. But certainly that car isn't going to hang around for a long time.
I wasn't sure. I thought you were going to be rallying on the road.
The big question will be, do I need a GT4 and a GT3 RS?
Right.
I think that'll be the big question. Yeah. I think one of them would make more sense.
Do you have any thoughts on Angel Wax Exodus? We can't get Wolf's in the UK and can't get it sent from OG. Any solution?
Stay tuned. I got to wash the Tesla here. We'll kind of see how it reacts to the wash and see how it reacts to like OG drying aid and stuff. It sure seems it's the same base formula as Rain-X, Wolf's, all that stuff. The question is, how do the wipers work with it, and and all that. But the guys at Angel Wax weren't too enthused about it. They didn't like it. They're like, we don't like it. But I didn't trust them. So I'll more to come. I'll let you know.
All right. Scotty says, do you have any oh, sorry, I did that one already. My bad. Bad driver. Getting into the low 50s and 40s in Michigan and doing a full wash process is hard in the cold. Would you endorse touchless and N914 to get me through the winter with occasional reset if the temp hits 50s?
Yeah, I think so. There's also those gloves that I bought, the insulated gloves, for washing.
Right.
Because you can cover up the rest of your body, and it's your hands that makes it hard.
Yeah.
The only problem is they're thick, but they have like wool inside of them or something. They're pretty slick. I'll show them to you in the next wash and talk.
Just put your lambskin wheel mitt in a hot bucket of water.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key, is if you can get hot water in your bucket, then it can make the whole experience way better. I'm looking forward to it now that I have hot water, even in the, when we're in the 40s
when it's
and 50s.
When it's down in the mid 50s here in Florida.
Yep.
AVR for stereo listening or stereo amp?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to have a center channel, then you would generally do some sort of stereo processing.
Right.
But if you have a receiver laying around, but you're always better off with a separate amplifier, having a separate preamp and amp if you can help it. But yeah, I mean, there's thousands of different stereo preamp amp combos that you could do.
So, John, you pulled back the Quick Jacks question. He was having a support issue, so...
Yeah, I just directly messaged him in the chat telling him to message support.
Yeah, just message support, and we'll get working on it. Yeah. So, just let us know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm going to have to break out the Quick Jacks here in the next week or so. I got my carbon ceramics for the Tesla. Yeah, got the carbon ceramics going, so I'm going to put those on.
I know we were working on, the boys were working on a plate for the jacks on the Quick Jacks.
Yeah, so that's
going to be a big product.
Plate for the floor jack.
Hand jack.
Yeah, hand jack, normal floor jack. So pretty much every jack, when you jack up your car on Swiss Tracks, it puts a little divot in it,
right?
Depending on the weight of the car. It's funny because I jacked up the front of the Tesla and didn't put a divot, and I jacked up the back of the Tesla and it did.
Also, it depends on the shape of the wheels on the jack.
Correct.
It has a big.
Yeah, and so we're going to make a plate that will work both, and we'll also make plate for a specific jack stand as well, I think. So we'll make probably a square one and then a long rectangular one, and then we're going to make a sort of a jack. The Sonic jacks we got are real promising, so we'll probably launch a couple of Sonic jacks, and we'll have a plate specifically for those.
Yeah.
And I want to have it where we have some sort of hook that we sell with it, where you can hang it on the wall. You don't need plates with the quick jacks, but you would need it for your floor jack.
Yeah, it's interesting. We were talking about potentially having it wrap a wheel or the axle or something so that as the jack moves, it'll slide the plate, which is kind of interesting because obviously when you jack up,
it moves forward,
or backward, and
so we'd have to make a much bigger plate than we needed.
Right. So this would enable us to have a smaller plate that moves. Also, the other consideration is if you're jacking and you're trying to get a jack stand in and you got a big plate in the way, you got to move it. So it's, so there's some thought going into that. Seems like it'd be really simple, but it's
going to be great for me because it's going to cost me like 20 cents to make. I'm going to sell them for $500. It's going to be awesome. I would buy it for $500 right now if somebody had one.
Yeah.
Just so I can get it because I don't have a resource to get a sheet of metal.
Yeah.
I cut to the exact length I need.
I got a 3/8 inch piece of plywood. That's what I'm using. So yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and then your plywood gets all divoted and beat up over time.
Yeah, right. It's sacrificial.
I pull the tiles out, which I don't know why it's like too much. I'm spending 5 hours washing my car, organizing drawers, get all this stuff out. But if I got to bend down and pop some tiles out, I don't know why it just puts me over the edge.
Well, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Just, for me, I got to go up in the attic to get freaking extra tiles. So that's annoying. So yeah, we want to solve that problem.
Yep. Yeah, and then if you divot a tile, each tile is like freaking $7 or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. It's a waste of money.
Let's see here if anything else came in. Oh yeah, here's a new one. Saw that there are new OG spec lights. Are they an equivalent replacement for Cree or close enough or better than the Cree?
I think they're better than the metal. Like they're very similar, right? It's a single row LED.
They're equivalent or better spec.
Correct. So the LED specification is slightly higher lumen per watt. Same CRI, 90 CRI. Right. So the same, same calculation there.
Yeah.
I like the look of the Cree lens better because it's taller, but the quality of the lens is better on the HE Williams. It's just the lens is shorter.
Right.
It's not as tall.
Yeah.
So I preferred the look of the Cree, but again, they're 10 feet up on the ceiling.
They disappear.
And so I think it's a 5% improvement if I were to add it all up.
Yeah, the other benefit is with this product we can get a black fixture.
Yes.
Which we couldn't with Cree.
Right. So that's going to be a game changer for a lot of people.
So if you have a black ceiling and you want it to sort of dye a bit more, you don't have to put a white strip up there. So that's a benefit.
Yeah. And so all that 5% plus or minus is completely negated by the fact that you can get them. And it's not, and I wanted to make sure, I was adamant about this when you guys were searching for me. Like, I'm not just looking for, I just won't have lights.
Right.
I don't want to have lights just to have lights, but I want to make sure it's good.
These are made in America. That's one of the reasons why they're easier to get. And we have a supplier that's stocking for us. So I know we're still catching up on some of the original orders, but I know new orders are shipping quite quick. So as long as the stock is in hand, you may get it or it may ship the same week.
Yeah, I wouldn't steer you wrong. You would know no different.
Right.
Even if you had them both there in the same room at the same time.
And it's the reason why we've changed the marketing on the site to OG linear lights, because it wasn't, the brand Cree wasn't what was significant.
I thought it was, right.
But it was the specification of the light. We found that there's multiple lights that are very, very similar.
It was the discovery of the linear fixture that was the IP.
Unique.
that was unique. Not the discovery of that for the garage.
Right.
Not the linear fixture is what I've always been looking for. And then what we're hoping to do at some point is to improve upon that with our own fixture.
Right.
Doing like a four array of LEDs that have greater output with a better lens. We're still working on the sort of the transition from fixture to fixture, and then I would love to improve the cost as well.
Yep.
But the H.E. Williams, just buy it with confidence. I'm telling. I'll put my stamp of a Matt Moorman guarantee on here. You'll be good.
Yeah. I have a 2019 BMW M4 CS I bought from Drew Leslie a few years ago. I have some deep scratches in the clear coat. I've polished, compounded it, but they are really stubborn. Wet sand ?
Well, you want to be careful. A scratch. Think of a scratch as like a V, right? There's a V in the paint, and in order to get the scratch removed, you need to remove you need to remove all the paint around it to get to the bottom of the V.
Right.
And so there's a very high probability. If you can feel the scratch with your thumbnail, you're out of luck. All polishing is going to do is clean the dirt out of it, and you can hope to,
Yeah, you can sort of round off the edges so it's not as noticeable.
Correct.
But it's still going to be there.
But you'll want to get a paint depth gauge, and you want to meter all around it, and then polish and just sort of decide. You're going to take a gamble here. Usually, scratch. If I can feel the scratch from my thumbnail, and I just kind of polish over it and leave it alone, and just deal with it. If you can see any sort of base coat under it, or primer under it, or aluminum under it. If it's an aluminum panel, which would be on that car likely, it's not really a big deal. It's not going to rust.
It's not going to rust, yeah.
Just coat over it and call it a day. So if you've already compounded, you probably removed a decent amount of paint. You could try sanding it, but if you are going to sand it, you're going to want to sand it with 3000, because if you go below 3000 with an interface pad, because if you go below that, you're gonna pull the orange peel out, and they're gonna have a shiny spot.
It's gonna look different.
A weird spot. Yep.
Do you still sell closet systems? I look on the website and I don't see them anymore. We're trying.
We're working on it. Yeah, we just called them again today. They're trying to figure out. We will. Yes.
We have a system.
It's great. Right. And so now we're working on our supply of the material and the production of it. Yeah. But it's going to be awesome.
All right. Trying to decide between Onkyo TX RZ30 and Yamaha N1000. Onkyo comes with Dirac Live. Any thoughts, recommendations?
Yeah. I mean, Yamaha is so far behind. I'd probably pick the Onkyo in that case.
Easy answer. Oh, we got a super chat.
But
a super chat.
Yeah, the Marantz stuff is going to be a lot more money.
All right, New Zealand. We got some New Zealand dollars in the super chat. Thank you for that. Hey, Matt, what will you be hunting for at SEMA this year? Any product category you're really keen on exploring? Hoping we bump into you on the show floor again this year. Omni Garage.
Oh, yeah, I know those guys. I met them last year. I don't know. I don't really have anything I'm looking for. So it's more of do I see anything that I wasn't looking for?
It's kind of SEMA light this year, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot of meetings scheduled.
I don't do any of it. I try not to do any meetings.
Just float around.
I'll go see the America guys. I'll go see the Rytech guys. I'll go see the Sonic guys. I'll go see all the detailing companies and all that. But I don't book anything. I think I'm booked to have dinner with Michelle at Mantis. That's about it. That's all. And I'll go see the Swiss Tracks guys and the Russo people and all that stuff. But I just kind of shake hands, and while I'm shaking hands, I'm walking away,
right?
Because I don't want to move. But I might slow down a little bit this year. I may not even go through like the Chinese tire aisle. Like every other year has been, I'm going to touch every square inch of it,
right?
And so I think I'm gonna do my best to. I'm gonna vlog it, but I'm gonna enjoy it a little more than
you can get over the sands. You're gonna get over the other.
I don't even think I'm gonna go over there.
No, you can walk. That's a good walk. It's a good mile walk or so.
Yeah, it's not a fun walk.
It's not a fun walk.
It ends up being like 2.5 miles.
Is it?
Because you got to walk around.
That's right.
Because they got a lot of stuff blocked off. You just take the bus. They have the bus, or you take try to grab a taxi. Yeah, I'd be shocked if I found anything.
That means you're going to find something.
Yeah, I hope so.
Right.
But I mean, in early years, it'd be like 100 things, 200 things. I'm looking for for several years it was tools. And so I'm not really looking for any tools. I'm not really looking for any bags or anything specific. And so this is going to be more of a pleasant surprise. Yeah. I want to look at all the detailing stuff, but I don't think there's really anything remarkable. I know that Rupes is possibly launching a new version of the Nano.
Right? Yeah.
Which would be interesting to see.
Flex has been talking about their polishers. They're super excited about them.
Yeah, who cares? Plug-in polisher. Make your cordless one good.
Right.
Yeah. So it's going to be just fun to kind of shake hands, kiss babies, cruise around, see some people I haven't seen in a while, and I'm leaving on Friday morning, which is first time ever. I hope I don't regret that. I can always change my flight if I had to.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep. Hopefully I don't get sick.
The air traffic controller stuff they'll delay it for you anyways. Jim asks, are flat Swiss track tiles an option to replace tiles where you thought you'd be jacking up a vehicle?
It probably could be first, like if it's right on the edge, but it'll divot that too.
Right.
If it's real heavy and you got real tiny wheels, but if you're just barely denting the Ripchex Pro, then the Ripchex Smooth, you'd probably be okay. But most of the time, if it's denting one, it's going to dent the other.
Shreddy Heart says, if the spotless water system can only filter 1.9 gallons a minute, what's the point of 2 power washers to get 4.1 gallons per minute?
Well, on the CR Spotless, you can't.
Right.
You can't use it. It won't work.
Our wash station can double up.
I mean, the CR barely keeps up with the Krenzla.
Right.
Struggles with an AR630. I think it's still good enough because I've had it with the AR630. I didn't really test it to where, because I don't really use spotless water like I'm going to
you're drying
let it
anyways.
Dry.
So.
Right. And so I just want it more for peace of mind and make sure my water's really dialed.
Right.
And so that's the problem with it. It won't flow. It can't keep up. And so you can't, if you want to do duals, you can't do it. You'd have to do dual CRs. And even then, you're like at the limit of it. Now, it works, and I think it's the best option. It's the best package for, single Krenzla, single CR. If you're going to do dual Krenzlas, you'd want to pipe in dual CRs. But if you like, when I had the duals with the CR, I just didn't use the CR.
Right.
I had it set up to where I had a separate nozzle, and we put valves on it so I could still use the CR, but I could only use it with one.
Right.
I don't like that. I don't like that option. And so that's what the wash station is solving. It's a solve for, because our tank can do 10 gallons a minute, up to 10. So when we start to do tanks in series, it drops about 10% per tank, but we have plenty of headroom for it to flow much, much greater volumes of water. And it's because the tank is 5 times the size.
Right. Yep. It's bespoke. Can't wait to see the videos on the Sonic MSS cabinets. When will we be able to contact design to find out pricing and design?
We were talking second week of December, likely.
Yeah, after Black Friday.
Yeah.
And they'll be on the website. So the nice thing about MSS is they're going to be mostly pre-configured. And we think you'll like the pre-configurations because we designed them.
Yep.
So we're hoping that you go on the website and you click buy.
Yep.
And just put it in your cart and shop. So it's really easy. You can talk to design, but we don't think you'll need to.
Right. And if you want to do bespoke, then you can do it, but it's not going to be priced quite as good, and it's going to be a 4 month wait.
That's right. The other thing you can do, and this is where design probably could help you, is you could take 2 pre-configurations and put them together. So that's another option.
It might actually be, let's say you had 2 pre-configurations, there was 2 cabinets that you didn't need.
Right. It's going to be cheaper to do that.
than it would
throw
be
away
to
the
do a la
cabinets.
carte. Right.
Or sell them on Facebook Marketplace or something.
Right. The way that the pricing worked out because of the volume that we've committed to would give you the ability, gives us the ability to, because every other time, whenever I create a package, it's just a summation.
Right.
You just add, because generally when I'm creating a package, it's from like 10 different brands. And so I don't get a discount.
There's no benefit.
Right. And so when you buy the Obsessed Garage car washing package, it's just the summation of the individual items. So if you don't need that or want that one thing, then just buy the individual items. Whereas with this, because it's all from the same manufacturer and because we're going narrow and deep and because we made, significant commitment to it, you are getting a significant package discount for buying the pre-configured configuration. And I built all the configurations, so you're getting the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely much better.
And it's drawer heavy.
Right.
That's expensive real estate.
Yeah.
You want drawers.
It is. Matt, what's your recommended tire brand for a lower profile tire on a daily driver sedan?
I'm still always going to buy PS4S's if I can. If they have the right size, always doing Michelin's.
Yeah. Let's see here. Any update on the pressure washer hose reel swivel wall mount?
That is also, we talked about that earlier, where we're months away from having a full suite of all the things we've told you about. But we're reserving those now for the wash station. Yeah. But once we get this all production all figured out, then we'll launch those.
We want to be able to make it and deliver it.
Yep.
So that's the goal. Well, that's kind of our last question. I think we've covered quite a bit of ground today.
Yeah. I'm making a Hex vlog today, so I'll have that up for you probably Monday or Tuesday. There's another Hex vlog from last week that's up now. We put up a couple days ago. I forgot it was sitting in the darn queue.
Oh.
Yeah. So Hex vlog is up. I'm shooting one today. I have the Sequoia video will go up on the Matt Moorman channel. The series for the OG garage build starts this week.
Right.
We have we've been doing 2 videos a week on the OG channel, so go check out the denibbing video and the wheel coating video.
Battery.
Oh, yeah, battery install video. We'll have wheel coating video coming out.
Yep.
Or is that one already up?
Wheel coating? Yeah, I think it's up.
We have I have another video which I'll finish here today, which would be a tool grid video of the tool packages for the Matt Moorman channel. Garage Obsession video is scheduled for 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, it's a little ways out.
What is the next one? Do you know? Is it my garage?
I don't think it's yours. We had one in between. I thought we had one in between. I can't remember who it is.
But that's a couple weeks out or a week.
We've switched it around a little bit. That's all I know.
So anyway, check out all the stuff. Make sure you're subscribed. Michael is shooting the Perlisten speakers. He's starting the Perlisten series. We've kind of finished up the JTR series with the exception of the Kalos. We found out the Kalos 12-inch subwoofers were only, it's a 2400 watt amplifier, and it was limited to 140 watts. So Michael was like, man, these subs, I don't know. They're not very good. I haven't listened to them yet. And so Jeff found an error in the software, for the firmware or something like that, where it was limiting output to 140 watts, and we couldn't figure out. I haven't even listened to them yet.
Right.
And so, that's going to make it remarkable. Because looking at that thing, I'm like, that thing's going to freaking shake the earth.
Are they upgradable so we can upgrade them here, or do they have to be sent back?
I think he's sending out. We've only sold I don't know if we've even shipped any of them yet. Right. So I don't think we've shipped any of it. It's not the Kalos speaker, it's the Kalos sub. So I don't think any have shipped yet. And the few that have shipped, he'll probably just send a new amp.
Okay.
It's like 4 screws just pop it out.
In.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in putting 2 more in my home theater for the rear, for the near field section. So those 2 will likely be mine. But Michael is going to shoot that, an update on those, and then have the whole Perlisten line. And then we're probably going to do Steve's garage. So Steve is the Perlisten rep.
Okay.
He has 2 garages at his house up in my old stomping grounds up in the King of Prussia area in Philadelphia. So he's trying to talk me into that being our next, next garage series.
Are you going to travel?
That's maybe if I went up to stay at Villanova and I could stay up there, it would be kind of cool to go there. I could be maybe convinced in the spring or summertime.
Yeah, definitely not in January.
He has a lot. Yeah, he has a lot of cool cars, and so he's meeting with design. But make sure to go to the Obsessed Home Theater YouTube channel. We have like 800 subscribers, something like that. Get subscribed to that if you're interested in electronics. It'll be a very Matt Mormon-like channel where it's just deep dive into products and long form, and then the Youth Man channel will be kind of like the OG channel where it's the the more tour and entertainment type, the more palatable version. So
cool.
Anyway, we'll see you guys. Let's see. Next week I'll be here, and then the following week I'll be at SEMA. Right. So actually, I'll be back. I'll be traveling back. But we should be here next week. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.